Hello, welcome to Happy Vending. I'm Bill, and people have been sending me messages about these signs on my machines that say this machine will not vend from 7:35 to 2:30, and they're asking about why I have them and how I get the machines to do that. Well, today we're going to focus on just that. Stay tuned. Happy Vending. Now, the reason I have these machines not vend products at certain times of the day is that these machines are located in a high school, and sometimes you're restricted to what products you can vend in a school at what time. Now, we used to have all zero-calorie drinks in these machines, and they would vend all day. But what happened was, in the last year, the machines were starting to get very popular, and students were just coming here when they should have been in class, and it was creating a big disturbance in this area of the school. So the administration came to me and said, we don't want these to vend during the school day. You can vend them before the school day and as the school day is ending, but not during the school day. So we pulled out a lot of the diet drinks and just put in a lot of regular drinks that students would like in after school hours. And I set timers on them so that the selections would not work. And I also had the lights turn off on them during the school day so that the students sort of realize that these machines aren't working right now, as well as putting these signs on the machine. Now, if you don't have your machine in an area where it would need to be restricted during certain time periods, like, I don't know, a YMCA or something like that, you don't really have to worry about the timers. But if you have a school, you might need to know this. Now, I did produce another video showing how timers worked on a Merlin IV machine, and you can check out that video if you have a Merlin IV. It's slightly different than on these G3 machines. These G3 machines are made specifically for Coke. They're programmed the way Coke wants them to be, and they use something called blocks. Each machine has 2 blocks in it, and in those 2 blocks you can block certain functions like the lights, make the lights turn off, or make certain selections turn off. And you have 2 different blocks, 2 different time zones to make that happen. I'm really only using one of the blocks because I have it set to not vend from 7:35 to 2:30. All selections turn off in that block, and I also have the lights turn off at that same exact time. Now, in order to make the lights turn on and off, you do need to have a light relay installed in the machine, and that is not something that is normally put in the machines by Royal. So I actually had to get the light relay kit and install them on all my machines to make the lights turn on and off at other times. But as far as blocking selections, that can be done without any additional relays installed in the machine. So let's see how it works. First, of course, you have to open up your machine to activate the programming mode, which is the button on the control board inside the machine to do that. If you have the older G3 board like this one, it's a big red button at the bottom of the control board. If you have a newer G3 control board, this one on the other side has a newer board that I put in, has a little blue button at the top of the control board. So you open up the inner door, and underneath this little plastic flap is the control board, and on the bottom is the red button. Press it once, then we go to the front of the machine. For programming these machines, you're going to be using the first 4 selection buttons and using the display here. Once you enter programming mode, it goes into the error menu. To advance to the different menus, you press the second button. Now, these block programming menus are in the additional menus, which you have to put a password in to get to them. The default password on a G3 machine is 4231. You press the 4th button, the 2nd button, the 3rd button, the 1st button, and then the 4th button to enter that, and now you can get into the additional menus. We're looking for block 1. And one more thing I didn't mention is you have to make sure the clock is set properly in your machine before you go setting these, and that is in the time menu, and you can watch my video which I just produced on setting the time for daylight savings time, putting it back an hour. Watch that video and you'll see what is in that time menu. But yes, you must have the time set right in the machine for this to work. So here's block 1. I'm going to press the 4th button to enter this, and we're going to see what we have. First of all, we have to make sure it's enabled. 1 means enable. If it were not enabled, you'd see a 0 here. To get into that, you'd press the 4th button, and then that 1 blinks. And then either 0 means block 1 is not enabled, 1 means it's enabled. Then you press 4 to select that. We're going to go to the other ones. Start. This is when the block starts. This is the time that it's going to start blocking selections or turning off the lights or whatever. It's important for you to understand that. Start is the start of the block. Let's press enter and just see how that is configured. So day, you can have it do block at different days of the week. On this machine, I only block them from Monday to Friday. If there's people in here on the weekend, which sometimes there are, I let it vend. To get in here, you press the 4th button, and it's going to go through each day and tell you whether it's blocked on that day or not. So Sunday has a 0. It means it's not blocking anything on Sundays. Go up. You can do all days all at once if you want to do this programming. Like say I just wanted to turn off the block on all days. I would select this and put this on 0. Monday has a 1. That means on Mondays it blocks. Tuesdays it blocks. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it blocks. On Saturday it does not block. So that is all set right. I'm going to press the 1st button to get out of the days. Now we're going to go up to the next one, hour. What hour is it going to start blocking? I'm going to press 4 to enter this. And this is in 24-hour military time, so it's saying 7:37 a.m. is when the block starts. And if you remember my sign up here, it says it starts blocking at 7:35 to 2:30. The reason I have it a couple extra minutes is if a student puts their money in and takes their time to select and the block happens, sometimes it's going to lock them out and they won't be able to finish their transaction. So I give it a couple extra minutes. I hope that by 7:35 there's no students trying to vend because they realize that the block is going to happen. Now if I wanted to set this, I would press the 2nd button to go up or the 3rd button to go down. But I'm going to leave it set to 7:37 and I'm going to just press 4 to go to the minutes, and once again up and down. To get out of this, press the top 1st button and it goes out of hours, and now I can do the next thing, which is days. So all you have is days and hours for the start time. Press the top button to get out of that, and now we can go to stop time. This is when the block would stop. Press the 4th button to enter that. Once again, we have days. We can have it stop on certain days. Yes. And hours. Have it stop at a certain hour of the day. Press 4. This is military time, so it says 14:30, which is actually 2:30. It stops exactly at 2:30. Once again, if I wanted to change it, I'd press the 2nd button to go up, 3rd button to go down, and the 4th button to go to minutes, so on and so forth. When that's done, press the top button to get out of that, and press the top button to get out of the stop. Now let's press the 2nd button and see what's next. Selection. This determines what selections in the machine are going to be blocked during that time period for block 1. So let's press 4. Selection 1 is blocked. That's the water. Selection 2. Actually, they're all blocked because administration told me I can't vend anything. But some schools might say to you, hey, it's okay if you just vend water during the day. If a student needs a water bottle, you can leave that on. I did ask administration. They said no, They didn't even want these to vend water. But if they did, I could go up to selection 1, which is my water, press 4 to enter, and make that a 0, meaning it's not going to block water. It will always vend water during the day. But I can't do that. I have to put that back on 1. Enter that. And now let's get out of selections. One more thing in here in selections, they have an all. If you are just going to apply the same choice to all of them, you just have to enter that, put a 0 or a 1. That's how I set this up, because I blocked everything and I didn't want to have to go to all 9 selections and do that. Press the top button to get out of that. What else is in here? The lights. The lights. I make the lights go off when it's blocking the selections, just so that the students see that the machine is off. So 1 means it's activated. If I put it on a 0, it means it won't block the lights in that time period, and the lights will always stay on the machine. I'm going to leave it set to 1, and then that's it. That's what you can do in your blocks. And you have 2 different blocks. So I could go into my second block, which I'm not using, and configure that to, I don't know, turn on and off the lights at a different time period. Like if I wanted them to turn off in the middle of the night so that I'm saving the bulbs, I could use the second block for that. When you're all done, you just simply close up your machine, and it goes back into normal mode. So there you go, that's how you use the block feature in a G3 machine. Now, one more thing that I didn't mention was, if you don't see the block menus as you're scrolling through the menus, you might need to check configuration number 2 in your machine, which turns on optional features. You have to have configuration 2 activated so that you can get into those additional features on your machine. And of course, make sure the clock and date are set properly on your machine so that it knows when it's Monday and when it's Friday and Saturday, if you're having it do different things on different days of the week. So, hope you learned something. Make sure you like and subscribe, and as always, happy vending.